The Black Death, one of the most devastating pandemics in human history, swept through Europe in the mid-14th century, claiming the lives of an estimated 25 million people, about one-third of the continent's population at the time. This catastrophic event not only reshaped the demographic landscape, but also had profound social, economic, and cultural impacts that would resonate for centuries. In this video, we will delve into the historical significance of the Black Death, exploring how it altered the course of European history. As we journey through this dark chapter, you can expect to learn about the immediate effects of the plague on society, including the breakdown of feudal systems and the rise of a more modern workforce. We'll also discuss how the Black Death influenced art, religion, and even public health policies. By the end of this video, you'll have a deeper understanding of how this tragic event not only marked a turning point in history, but also laid the groundwork for the Renaissance and the modern world as we know it today. So let's dive in and uncover the lasting legacy of the Black Death. To understand the impact of the Black Death, we first need to explore the social and economic conditions in Europe during the 14th century. At this time, Europe was experiencing a period of relative stability and growth, with flourishing trade routes connecting major cities. However, this prosperity came with its own challenges, as population density in urban areas increased, creating crowded living conditions that were ripe for disease transmission. The bustling trade networks, particularly in cities like Venice, Genoa, and Florence, facilitated not only the exchange of goods, but also the movement of people. Merchants and travelers unknowingly carried the plague with them, spreading it rapidly across the continent. Key locations, such as the port cities, became hotspots for the outbreak, as ships arriving from Asia brought infected rats and fleas along with their cargo. As we examine these pre-plague conditions, it becomes clear how the interconnectedness of society and commerce set the stage for one of history's deadliest pandemics. Understanding this context helps us appreciate the magnitude of the Black Death's impact on Europe and its people. The Black Death originated in Central Asia, specifically in the region around the Gobi Desert, where it is believed to have emerged from a combination of factors, including climate changes and increased rodent populations. The disease, caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, made its way westward along trade routes, first reaching the bustling markets of China before spreading to the Middle East and eventually Europe. The role of trade routes was crucial in the transmission of the plague. The Silk Road, a network of trade paths connecting Asia to Europe, facilitated not only the exchange of goods, but also the movement of infected individuals and animals. As merchants traveled, they unknowingly carried the disease with them, leading to outbreaks in key cities. Significant urban centers such as Constantinople, Genoa, and Venice became early hotspots for the plague, with their crowded populations and active trade contributing to the rapid spread. By the time the disease reached Europe in the 1340s, it had already claimed countless lives in Asia, setting the stage for one of the most catastrophic pandemics in history. Understanding these origins helps us grasp the scale and speed of the Black Death's impact. The symptoms of the Black Death were both alarming and devastating. Infected individuals commonly experienced fever, chills, weakness, and swollen lymph nodes, known as buboes, which often appeared in the groin, armpit, or neck. These painful swellings were a hallmark of the disease, leading to the term bubonic plague. Other symptoms included severe headaches, fatigue, and in some cases the appearance of dark patches on the skin due to internal bleeding, which gave rise to the name Black Death. At the time, medical understanding of the plague was rudimentary. Physicians lacked the knowledge of germs and bacteria, attributing the disease to miasma or bad air. Diagnosis was primarily based on visible symptoms, and there were no effective treatments available. Societal reactions to these symptoms were often filled with fear and superstition. Many believed the plague was a punishment from God, leading to widespread panic, isolation, and even violence against marginalized groups, such as Jews, who were scapegoated for the outbreak. This societal turmoil reflected the desperation and confusion of a population grappling with an unprecedented health crisis, further complicating the response to the plague. The Black Death had profound social, economic, and cultural effects on Europe, beginning with a dramatic decline in population. With an estimated one-third of the population perishing, communities faced labor shortages that disrupted agricultural production and trade. This decline in workforce led to increased wages for laborers, as landowners struggled to find workers, ultimately weakening the feudal system and paving the way for a more modern economy. Social structures also underwent significant changes. The traditional hierarchies were challenged as surviving workers gained more bargaining power, leading to greater social mobility. This shift contributed to the rise of a middle class, altering the dynamics of society and diminishing the absolute power of the nobility. Culturally, the plague left an indelible mark on art and literature. Themes of death, mortality, and the fragility of life became prevalent, as seen in works like Giovanni Boccaccio's The Decameron and various paintings depicting the macabre. The pervasive sense of despair and reflection on human existence influenced the Renaissance, as artists and writers sought to explore the complexities of life in the wake of such tragedy. The Black Death, therefore, not only reshaped society, but also ignited a cultural transformation that would resonate for generations. In the face of the Black Death, different regions and communities adopted various responses to combat the outbreak. Public health measures included quarantines, where ships arriving from infected areas were isolated for 40 days, a practice that gave rise to the term quarantine. Cities like Venice implemented strict regulations, including the establishment of pest houses to isolate the sick and prevent further spread of the disease. Religion and superstition played significant roles in shaping responses to the plague. Many people turned to prayer and penance, believing that the outbreak was a divine punishment for humanity's sins. Flagellant movements emerged, where groups of people publicly whipped themselves to atone for perceived transgressions, hoping to appease God and end the suffering. Notable figures also emerged during this crisis, such as Giovanni Boccaccio, who documented the plague's impact in his writings, providing a vivid account of the societal turmoil. Additionally, leaders like the Doge of Venice took decisive actions to protect their cities, showcasing the importance of governance during such a catastrophic event. These varied responses highlight the complexity of human behavior in times of crisis, revealing a blend of rational public health measures and deeply rooted cultural beliefs. The Black Death left an indelible mark on Europe, reshaping society in profound ways that would resonate for centuries. In the aftermath of the plague, the dramatic decline in population led to significant changes in social structures. With fewer people to work the land, labor became more valuable, resulting in higher wages and improved living conditions for many peasants. This shift contributed to the gradual decline of feudalism and the rise of a more modern economic framework. The impact of the Black Death also extended to public health policies. The crisis prompted a greater awareness of hygiene and disease prevention, leading to the establishment of health boards and regulations that would inform future public health measures. Quarantine practices, initially implemented during the plague, laid the groundwork for more systematic approaches to managing epidemics. Additionally, changes in population dynamics were evident as communities began to recover and repopulate. The resulting demographic shifts fostered urbanization as people moved to cities in search of better opportunities. This urban growth spurred innovation and cultural development, ultimately paving the way for the Renaissance. The Black Death, therefore, not only transformed immediate responses, but also set the stage for significant societal evolution in Europe.